What's up, everyone? AJ here on Day Trader Boom or Bust with today's recap. I hope you had a great day. For me, today was nearly deja vu of yesterday, and it was a battle, but patience and good trading late prevented today from being a carbon copy of yesterday. This was today's watch list. I post this every morning between 9 and 9:15 a.m. on my Twitter. If you want to make sure to catch that, go ahead and give me a follow at AJ Tabayan. So as you can see, I was having some trouble in the pre-market really figuring out what was going to be on the watch list. And even when I posted this, I really felt there were no standouts. There was, much lower volume in the market than we've been having. So I didn't even really separate them in terms of primary, secondary. I just had several stocks I was committed to watching, and then I would eliminate the ones that were trading below 100% RVOL, and then focus on the ones looking for opportunities in the ones where I saw the volume had come in. So I had BABA, BA, SPCE, Snap, and DKNG, all based off of their daily charts. I had Apple, Win, LVS, and CAN as continuation plays, and then crypto was up slightly today, so I had Mara on there as a potential crypto play. So after 16 trades today and only 25% win rate, I was red for the day. And you can see here that there were quite a few trades taken. So early on at the open, I took a trade on BABA, and on BABA, let me just move this to the open. All right, so apologies, I went too far there. So BABA opened up a little weak. Sorry, hold on a second. Oh, that's what it was. As you can see, it actually opened below S4, and I waited at the open. I waited to see what direction it was going to go. This was pre-market low, and when it was going to push below that, I had gone short. And this really is a lesson on why it is that I wait for over 100% RVOL and volume to come in before I take any trades. This was an error because at the time that I took this trade, BABA was really only trading at about 80% RVOL. So although it went in my direction, it failed to continue and to hit my 2R profit target. And unfortunately, it stalled in this area over here and then pushed right back up and ended up stopping me out. And what I have found is for my trade book strategies, if there isn't enough, if there isn't the kind of volume that I need, then it usually fails to make the moves that I'm looking for. It can still go in the direction that I am anticipating or that I'm reading, but it generally will fail to go the distance of my 2R profit target given where my stop loss is. So that was unfortunate. But my next trades were on Win, and let me just get that up. So on Win, I'm just gonna see. This is where things started to look like yesterday. Ironically, as I already talked about it yesterday, this also was trading on SSR today. So I really should have been a little bit more cautious. I was mindful of it. It's not like I completely ignored it. But, it obviously was a factor because I was bearish on Win today. So this is the first 5-minute candle, and you can see, although it pushed up, it threw this big wick at the top, and then immediately had a red engulfing candle after that. So I waited for it to break below the bottom of this candle, at which point I went short, and unfortunately it came back and stopped me out. I waited again on this next 5-minute candle, and when it pushed back below this level here, I went short again, and then once again it wicked off there, but it didn't stop me out because I gave it a wide stop. And when it failed to push back above VWAP, I thought, okay, this might be, this might actually make it this time. And this was trading at the time at about 300% RVol, so we definitely had the volume in there. And unfortunately, it, at the time it didn't break low of day, which was right here. I believe my 2-hour stop loss or profit target was right over here. So unfortunately, it came right back up and stopped me out. And that initial first, so this first stop here was one that hurt because that was actually, I think, a 1.2R loss on that. And then this one was a little bit less than 1R. So I guess all told, it was a 2R loss for the 2 losing trades. But, that was unfortunate. So then you can see it failed to break above this level. So when it failed to do that, I was watching it once again as a potential short, but I was only going to go short if it, if it failed to, if it pushed below this particular level. And you can see it consolidated in this area, pushed up, and then, failed to go above the 9 EMA here, and then started to push down. So when it did that, after it threw this red engulfing candle, I went short. But there were this $83 level here was a very, very significant level for win, and I knew that it may have trouble getting through that level, but I felt that if it did push below that level, that it could really run. So the play here, I don't feel was wrong. I was obviously anticipating something there. It's the read that I got, and there was definitely the inventory down here to pull the price down. Where I failed to really get things right here was when it did hit that 83 level, it threw this what you would call almost climactic volume, particularly on the 1 minute chart, and then it came right back up and stopped me out. So that in and of itself is not a bad thing. Again, it was just a losing. It was in my opinion, a solid trade that just lost. After that, though, that's where things, like yesterday started to creep in, and then I had all of this foolishness. Really, it's just not good trading happened there. So I'll just kind of leave it at that, as I really don't want to kind of relive that. But I did manage a winning trade here. I had changed, after really taking in what this climactic volume might have meant, when it failed to push back below this level, I changed the direction and I went long on this area. And you can see that this pop more than hit my 2-hour profit target. Actually, it was so aggressive, this push up, that my win there was 2.3 R maybe. No, 2.2 R. So that was a really, that was a solid win. And I really felt I had to kind of regroup after that. And I was perfectly fine at that point with not taking any more trades on the day. So here on on my journal, you can see all the stupid trades over here, and then this is that winning trade here that I took, and then but I'd really settled myself and was really patient for these next trades, because you can see this trade was done at 12.46, and this trade here was done an hour later. This one was an hour late after that, and then this one was just before, an hour before the close. So whereas these ones are literally minutes apart. So when that happens, really for my trade book strategies, it just tells me I'm not giving it time to set up and give me any strong indicators, whereas these I was really patient. So let's just quickly go through these last few trades. After that winning trade on Win, I traded LVS, and let me just move this over. So this one here was let's back up because I want you to see the full chart for most of it. So you can see that LVS was really trading in this range over here, and when it pushed above this range, you can see, but it failed to hold above pre-market high here. It came back, and when it came back to test this level, I was watching it now at this point because this trade book play that I have of a continuation play after it pierces the 20 EMA here. I saw that and I was watching. I waited patiently for it to really break above this particular level, and I did. So I entered long there with a relatively, I wouldn't say a really tight stop loss, but sorry, let me just zoom in here. What I had my stop loss was just above the bottom of the wick of this candle. So there's my entry point, and I did partial here quite a bit just because at this time of day when I'm trading in the early afternoon, I just find that sometimes the moves don't quite go the distance that I wanted to. This one would have hit my 2-hour profit target, which was right around just below pre-market high here. But at this stage I was red on the day and I wanted to book profit, so I did take these partials, and then I eventually ended up getting all out over here after it pushed above pre-market high here. So that again was a pretty solid trade. The last two trades were also on LVS, as it's the only one that I felt was really moving, as a lot of the stocks going later in the afternoon seemed to just be consolidating. So this continued to push up, and I was looking at a potential pullback at this point, and you can see it through this hanging man candlestick, and I was looking for a quick scalp, possibly pullback if it broke below this level. You can see I got short here a little bit early. Unfortunately, that came right back on me and stopped me out. But then we threw this doji candle here, and I waited to see what would happen, and the volume was increasing on this next candle here slightly, and when it pushed down below the bottom of this candle, I did go short with a stop loss just above what was high of day here. And then this went in my direction. I took a partial at key levels. So this particular level here was, I believe, the 100. It was the 100 SMA on the 1 minute chart, and then these two partials here were right around the 20 EMA here on the 5 minute chart. And clear those out. Clearly this partial here was at the push below pre-market high once again, and I really wasn't sure if it was going to keep going lower at that point, but I did hold on to a small amount. I'm pretty sure it's about 20% or 15% of my position left. It pushed down and I got all out over here. I wasn't sure what it was going to do here at the 200 SMA. So all in all, that particular trade was less than my usual 2R profit on the trade because of all the partials, but it was still a winning trade and erased the losses from this losing trade there. So with all that said, I really feel good about how I closed off the day. And you know, I clearly just still have more work as a trader, and that's not, I'm fine with that. I don't, you know, I definitely know that I'm far from where I want to be, but with that said, today, again, in the past, probably would have not just been deja vu of yesterday, but it probably would have been even worse. So that to me is an improvement. So you can see where it is that I lost it here on win, and that was you know, this huge loss here. Everything else was pretty decent, and overall I managed to salvage the day, which I'm happy about. And I was only able to salvage it, like I said, because I screwed my head back on straight and I exercised the type of patience that I should be exercising all the time. So that's it. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that. And until the next recap tomorrow, this is AJ on Day Trader Boomer Bust, signing out. Cheers.